about it.
You don't. You really don't.
This is just wear and tear.
This is it. Arguably the worst of the worst. The most disgraceful reflection not just on Robertson and Caine's workmanship, but also their ethics, apparently putting avoiding responsibility above the safety of the vessel and crew. Our crossbeam was cracking out of our hull. I'm not being funny or clickbaity here. Our crossbeam was physically separating from the hull. The starboard side had cracked out and offset to the inside of the hull and away from the outside, which could be measured around the various cracks. This suggests that when force was applied to the rigging, it was slowly ripping the starboard side of the crossbeam out of the hull. Imagine what could have happened if a squall had hit while we were under full sail. Our crossbeam could have failed before the sails and rig ever did. As you watch this disaster unfold, there is something critically important that you need to know from the start that provides invaluable context. And that is that we have been told by multiple reliable sources from both Robertson and Caine and Leopard's side of things that the box section that supports the crossbeam that it bolts to is hand laminated. Yes, hand laminated. This work was done in the factory by a human being who put their eyes and hands on it and thought that this was okay to send out on the ocean. This story starts all the way back in Cape Town around handover, when small cracks were noticed around the box section. Trent and Tynan were assured that this was absolutely nothing to worry about, it was just gel coat cracking, and those cracks were repaired. But by the time the boat had sailed from Cape Town to Gibraltar, those cracks had reappeared. Towards the start of our haul out in Italy, the cracks were noted by a high-level surveyor in a report that Robertson and Caine had requested we get. The areas around the crossbeam box were ultrasonically scanned as per the recommendation of the surveyor, and both the surveyor's report and scans were sent to Robertson and Caine. They paid for the survey. They paid for the scans. They did not accept the cracks as a warranty repair, providing no further explanation other than a previous email that had put much of our problems down to normal wear and tear after an ocean crossing. They did not authorize any further investigation. In their book, it seems this claim was closed, and those cracks were now our problem to deal with. Their actions here, to do nothing, to raise no concerns, to offer no explanation past normal wear and tear, especially given the technical information that they were presented with, and the fact that they are meant to be the world's foremost expert in the construction and layout of the hulls that they produce. The video, What is a Robertson and Caine Warranty Worth, details that entire claim experience. But it was dragged out for so long, with none of the fixed procedures requested by us or the yard being provided, that our visas ran out. And we had to go back in the water knowing full well that we were approaching winter. We were not allowed to re-enter the European Union Schengen zone for another 90 days, and we were facing another haul out. We made plans to cross from the Mediterranean to the Caribbean, where we were going to haul out in a Caribbean shipyard to resolve the remaining issues. Leopard knew of this plan because we told them. It's easy to conclude that Robertson and Caine would have known about it, especially because a Z-Spars rigger was sent out to check our rig, and that Trent was in contact with Travelopia's global technical director during the crossing. And still, not a single concern was raised about the crossbeam. Considering the information that was presented, and that the boat is on YouTube, you would have to be of questionable judgment and competence to brush something so serious under the carpet and suggest it was just normal wear and tear, instead of investigating further and erring on the side of caution. So we assumed it would be okay, and crossed the Atlantic Ocean. Luckily, our crossing was calm and slow with low wind that didn't put high stresses on the boat. After hauling out in Trinidad, we documented the cracks, which were shown in this video, and Trent also just did a post online asking for feedback from other people. We then hired a local contractor, which was later reimbursed by Leopard, to open up the areas that the Italian scans had shown were anomalies. This was initially at our own risk because Robertson and Caine had rejected the claim and had not approved for anyone to open it up so that further investigation into what was causing these anomalies could be done, effectively dodging their responsibility as a shipbuilder. What we found is truly disgraceful, especially given that this is hand laminated and that it could have resulted in a catastrophic failure of our vessel that put my life, Trent's life, Tarnan's life, and yes, Rose's life in danger.
Yeah, don't rush, man.
I think these were just in.
That was dry. I thought it was alcohol, but it's not alcohol.
It's dry.
Oh,
Yeah. It shouldn't lift out like that.
no.
The thing is to the left of that, was done by hand.
Yeah.
So I know that was done properly, but where he is just there
Wow.
is where they stop by hand.
How much of that can he do before he chips into the inside of the hull?
Doesn't matter. It's got to be redone. It's
Yeah.
like cracking around it because it's flexing on. So what's your opinion?
It's dry.
Just there though. Do you think it travels to the right?
It's fiberglass.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it was alcohol. It's not alcohol.
Yeah. What does that mean?
It's dry glass.
It's not good enough.
It's not saturated.
It's not saturated enough.
No.
Yeah. Oh, people.
So how far back does the dry go?
Well, you can dig it out. You can see.
I don't know how far back it gone.
You can.
But this entire white surface here, what is dry? There's a good glass.
Yeah. With visual confirmation backing up the scans, the crossbeam had to be removed for the process to continue. The only problem? It was well and truly stuck.
So you just keep going that way.
So is it still dry?
I think so, yeah. What I was saying we'll do is just take the gel coat off and we just keep grinding until we find solid, good mat. That's all we can do. And
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
So
you
keep
get that
coming
one,
down.
that
Yeah, we keep coming down and keep going out until we find good solid mat.
So you're saying that there was dry glass behind this bit that you just pulled out.
Yeah, it's right behind there, yeah.
So you're gonna have to take the fibre, the first two layers back to that core
Take it back to format, yeah.
because there's not enough resin in it, or
Won't know until we get it all off already, but it looks like it, yeah.
because there's bits that are dry and then bits that are just peeling away, but they've got resin on them.
Try fiberglass there. It'll be interesting to see what's in here.
It's soft, you can actually push it in. Oh, it's cracked. I reckon I could push that into it. Yeah. It's just pressed them up, I think. If it's soft, like you can dig into it.
And if it was resin,
if it
you
was
could do
resin,
that.
it'd be hard.
Do you think maybe there was a void there and they've just filled it with customer? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a hole. They just put customer in there.
Well, for context, it's the size of my finger. Oh wow. Is that dry?
That's dry. There's a big void here. Yeah, that's
Jesus.
dry. I don't know. I don't want to crazy with it.
No, I wouldn't.
Watch your eyes. I mean, this keeps going down.
I would just stop now.
So this gel coat here is just soft. And underneath it, it's just dry fiberglass. So you guys were pointing out that under here is just dry. We're rushing. I'm fucking angry if you buy a boat like this and they say, oh, it's not structural cracking around this. It's perfectly fine. It's great.
That's looking awfully fuzzy for
Yeah.
structural.
Isn't that normal?
I think they got
And then up here, what did you find up here? All this. Like all dry glass. Like it's disgusting. And they want to argue about who's right and who's wrong. Like this is just outrageous. Like this is all dry glass. It's all soft. Just cracking down. Going into the box here, it's all soft. It all flexes, just breaks out.
This crack goes all the way down.
Where'd you get it?
It's
That's
still not the gel coat.
That's a big chunk. Dry fiberglass there.
That's dry fiberglass right there.
Watch your eyes.
I'm just looking to see how that's a different colour.
Yeah.
That's obviously super soft. But yeah, this stuff here is all soft and whatever this brown, I don't know if they burnt that layer or what the hell's the deal. I'll do it because I'm weak as hell. Looking at the bows, you can see the gel coat has been ground off down the front. That's because in Cape Town, when the vertical hull cracks detailed a few videos ago were repaired, the repairman put gel coat straight onto the West Systems epoxied fiberglass. But for the gel coat to actually stick, there must be a tie-in coat in between the two. And as a result, it all had to come off again and be redone, this time with a vinyl ester tie-in coat being applied. During the grinding of that gel coat and the crossbeam area, we discovered that they had also laminated over dry fiberglass.
Can we look fish?
The thing is though, it's dry going all the way underneath this layer that they ran on the front.
Yeah, we'll have to come back.
This is where.
It's dry all
this
the way
is-
through under here. That's foul.
This is what annoys me about the grinder. Is they find this stuff
It comes out.
and it just get wet, whipped straight off. You don't need to grind this, Sam. You just use an ice pick.
You're covering yourself in dry fiberglass that's flicking out and hitting you.
Fucking hell. That's good, isn't it? That's all stuff there. I'm getting good at this. Learning did all this shouldn't
One
sound.
second.
Halt your investigation. I'm making a beard. They love beards. They love beards, don't they? They fucking love them. What are you doing? Don't worry about it. I have this. Hey, look.
I'm not sure if you're one step away from a mental breakdown or what.
Wait, excuse me. I'm going to explain this to you because I have it in an email from Robertson Caine, alright? This is just wear and tear. Look at him. Look, he understands.
Yeah, I already said it.
This is just wear and tear.
I think you're removing the resin from your boat and selling it for scrap.
No, it's wear and tear, alright? All the waves have just worn and torn all the way through all this, and now it's all having a bad day.
It's water soluble resin.
Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, look. I learned this from my friend. He's been in the industry for 30 years.
You better text him and tell him to come see this. If you get to the flow code on the other side, I'm gonna die. Why wasn't Robertson and Caine honest in Cape Town about the dry fiberglass found on the front of the starboard side that was edging towards the box section? Why wasn't that dry fiberglass fully investigated then so an honest assessment could have been given? Maybe it was because they knew that we would never keep a boat like that. Maybe it was something they've run into before. Because there is an explicit attempt to disclaim owners giving back boats due to warranty in their warranty documents.
They're a fucking disgrace, really, as a shipbuilder. Oh.
Yes, they are.
You watch me from Aussies. Oh, I wonder why it cracks. No. We'll reuse that. Oh, look, more dry glass. There's like nothing in it.
Is that what Crestmer in there?
No, it's like a dry mix of Crestmer and
Yeah,
shit.
down here.
It's dry glass, and then they put wet glass over the top of it.
Why wouldn't you? They're the experts, Tynan. Why you read like this? Wear and tear. This wouldn't have happened if you hadn't fucking tried to cross an ocean with this boat. You absolute hack. Look at that.
Wear and tear, Trent, and you're just unreasonable.
Yeah.
Don't you know this is just a production boat?
Oh fucking hell. That just fell off.
It just hit me.
Oh, it just fucking fell off. Look at that. This is your fault that wasn't glued onto that glass.
Sorry.
Wear and tear. How you can look like such a clown.
You two are unreasonable, and this is going to take 5 minutes.
Do you know my
to
favourite
fix.
part about them? My favourite part is they don't respond to anything useful at all, really. But you'll get an email through saying it's wear and tear. So that they draw a line in the sand like... That's just fucking... Like, it's just a fucking void. This is just... Have you seen this?
Yeah.
This is just a fucking inch. Oh, dry. Like I'm just...
Hey Trent, you weren't authorised to open this, you just voided your warranty.
You didn't open it. You saw it fell open.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I just work here. I just follow instructions. Yeah, it's just laminate going into the hole. The dry section of the laminate is going down between two other more wet sections.
Yeah,
So it's harder to get it out. It's all in here.
but it's dry.
Oh, it's fucking fuck. That'll be I'm fucking over it.
Another day in sunny Trinidad.
So sunny, it's drying the glass out.
So sunny it's drying the glass out. Oh my god.
So I've just taken this backing plate off to tape the holes up because the boys are sanding on the other side. This is on the starboard side. And it's exposed where the dry glass was at the top, and it's all the way through. So you can see like the flow coat or gel coat that was stuck to here was the only thing that was plugging the hole up. So when I've cut this out, it's taken that away with it exposing the hole, so there was like no fiberglass there.
So this is what I was sticking through that you could see.
Look at this dry glass. Fucking nuts.
Yeah, well that's what they're saying. It probably comes back all the way
Look,
back
that's
to
all
here.
dry too. Look, it's going in, look. Holy shit.
What have you found?
I'm pretty upset about this.
I think you've lost it.
Look, there's a big hole here. And it's all like dry fiberglass.
It's probably gonna have to take the whole box off and do it again. Oh, that whole piece is flexing inwards now.
Wear and tear. Can't believe you guys wrecked this boat.
Oh Jesus. No, there's a hole all the way through. Okay.
Wear and tear. That was just the tear bit.
It's flex in the
Don't
box.
record him laughing. No.
It's flex in the box section. It's supposed to flex.
Yeah, look.
It's supposed to be flexible.
Oh, you wonder why the gel coat cracked. Why is it all flex? Look at this.
Flex for the
Look,
boat.
look at that.
Movement. It's
Look.
a boat. Don't you know anything?
No, but watch the top bit.
Clearly.
Look at it flex.
Yeah. You know
Imagine
what?
how much it must have been flexing
You
to
just
crack
don't
that
know.
gel coat.
You just don't know very much about owning boats.
You
Trent.
think about it, like you go like this and you watch it moving now and it's not cracking, it's just going You know what I mean? You wonder how much it actually was physically in reality moving to actually make that crack. We have the continuation of dry fiberglass on the Leopard. So here what you have is a fluffy number.
Trent was periodically coming back out and scoring up the fiberglass, because if you can score up the fiberglass and it becomes fluffy, then it's not been sufficiently wet out and it's not structural. It has to be replaced. It can't be repaired and has to be redone, because they can't attempt to re-wet it and you can't attach repairs to a dry layer. Whenever he was asked to look at the work, I'd come out and record it to cover Trent and the repair team, as the media justified the continual grinding of insufficient fiberglass.
That's fucked. Oh, that's fucked. Oh, that's dry. See from the back. That's insane. Wait. And then they're still going to take all that back.
Almost missing the entire. Oh god, you put your scraper.
It's just a scraper, but look, that's all.
Yeah.
That's dry.
We don't even have a box anymore.
No, because they've got to take all the dry glass out.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make a new box by the end of this.
Look at this. All dry glass.
That's what I think Dave's face was like. Now he's gonna have to make it from scratch almost.
Look, all this is dry.
If you'd stop sucking the resin out, we wouldn't have a problem.
It's all dry.
Sorry, is that
Dry
gel
coat.
coat underneath the fiberglass?
There's no structural glass there.
Is that the inside of the boat?
Yeah, it's
So that's the inside. If you go through that gel coat, you're inside.
Probably, I don't know actually.
What a mess.
How much they're fucking around. I've got almost zero sympathy for them. I'm kind of frustrated.
That's all okay.
Fucking hell. Why'd you get rid of all of my bugs? We flog the look, you know what they do? If we flog these holes out like Robertson and Caine do for 16 mil, we could put a rope across between through these holes, and then we could just come down to that rope. Be like a Wirram, is it? You know those little canoe ones? Canoe looking
You mean the links people make in
the
the
ones that, yeah,
shed?
the ones that they make in their
The
yacht.
Warram things.
Wirram. Sounds piratey.
We
That's probably where it came from.
What's this bit? Dun, dun. That's
At
insane.
least it's not helicopter noises.
Why is there so much dry glass?
Let's dry here still.
That's the void.
Insane. Look at the bottom of it, look very bit.
Look, that's like the hole going through now. So the void is
It's not a void anymore. It's a.
Let's go.
And you've got this hole here, which is not supposed to be there. Do you think this wafer-thin fiberglass that's cracked and completely detached at the top is enough to hold the rig on? Because this is what was left when the unviable glass was removed. You can see holes, 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 holes. That's not even attached anymore. Holes, 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 holes. It's just holes everywhere. So completely inadequate. This is what was left that was mildly viable, that the contractors mainly wanted to leave in place as a reference for where the original box was. Under that gel coat, this is what was structurally there to hold our crossbeam in place and support the rig. The starboard side had less viable glass than the port side, and it was documented more heavily because it was ground back first and more slowly. The port side also had significant insufficient fiberglass, but it was ground off quickly and recorded mostly with photos, which I don't want to bore you with.
one there, they're a real problem. They sting out, they're a real problem. It takes a day for it to swell up. They're all turn off, they hang down. Now all these are, see the back of it on this side.
I mean, I think it probably goes up to about there. About that.
Yeah. Where is it on this side, okay?
What shipbuilder thinks it's okay to laminate over gel coat? I'm not an expert, but I'm sure some of you down in the comments are. So please let us know. This gives you a visual representation of how it is that they join the hulls. It is categorically unacceptable that they seem to have fiberglass laminated over gel coat. One of the reasons Trent insisted in Cape Town that the outside of the vertical hull cracks be laminated was that no one could say how far back the gel coat permeated between the two bonding layers. So it was agreed that it would just be simpler to laminate the outside.
So the problem you've got here is they don't want to bond to the gel coat. This internal layer, these guys added, but there was nothing in there actually bonding these two halves together at the top. If you go back over the footage, there's literally nothing. They've added all this. Now they're trying to remove the gel coat to do the structural bonds on the front, and the gel coat permeates all the way back inside. And there was actually nothing joining these two halves of the hull together, because we added these layers here, and before it was just all gel coat or dry glass. So now you've got an issue. So down here you can see where the repair work was done to fill the voids and the cracks, and it's just full of gel coat. So this is what they've bonded on the inside here. You can see through the gel coat, which is better than up the top. But this is all got to come off now, and they've got to actually find just structure to join onto for it to be a legitimate repair.
I'm going to stop there for this week, and next week I'm going to show you how the bows were rebuilt, largely by Nino, whose exceptional work in creating something out of nothing helped get Liger out of the shipyard. Honestly, watching him shape our bows was like watching an artist work, and looking back on it now, it makes it even more absurd that Leopard refused to pay for his work when he came back out. But before I go, I want to address a question that I am sure many of you are asking yourselves, and that is, was this a fluke? Is Liger the only boat? Based off media I have that for now I cannot publicly share at the request of owners, there are other boats that have had problems with the box section. As I have said, we were informed by reliable sources that the box section on the Leopard 45 was hand laminated in the factory. The footage I'm about to show you is from a 2023 Leopard 45. We are a 2021. This boat had sailed directly from its handover in Cape Town to the yard we were in Trinidad. And out of all the boats in all the world that Robertson and Caine have made, what do you think are the chances? The question here, as I've asked before, do you trust Robertson and Caine's ability to build a safe, seaworthy boat? Remembering that they're not just being trusted with people's hard-earned savings, but with the safety of family and friends. Is that a risk that you'd be willing to take? If we knew what we know now, if we had seen our story play out, there is no way that we ever would have bought this boat. But for us, the issues came to light over time, with layers of bullshit, lies, and ass covering muddying the waters. This issue could have been found in Cape Town, but downplaying it, kicking it down the road, and attempting to shirk responsibility meant we didn't know that we needed a total rebuild of our bows until we were already a few years into having the boat and had already spent thousands of hours and tens of thousands of dollars fixing defects, upgrading and installing systems, making this our home. When I first started sharing our issues, it was not something that was really being done, but we felt that it was the right thing to do. Nowadays, the climate has changed, and unfortunately, we are not the only ones who have had problems with a new boat. For a long time there, it seemed like new boat builders had certain very vocal customers in an almost Stockholm Syndrome level type of trance, where they would just echo the chant, "What did you expect? That's just new boats. That's just production boats. That's just the marine industry." And the brand name and the potential sales value of the asset was being put above transparency, safety, quality, and I don't think that's right. What do you think? Is this just, as some say, how new boat buying is, and you should just accept that if things go wrong for you, it is what it is? Or as a cruising community, do we not just expect but demand better? If you have a strong opinion on this, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much Leopard and Robertson and Caine are going to listen, because they don't seem to have listened so far. But maybe the investment funds that own them will. And you'll find the contact details for them down in the description.